To East London now, and news of yet another pit bull attack. A 15-month-old toddler was mauled to death yesterday at a farm in Gunubi. This latest tragedy has heightened calls for a blanket ban on owning and breeding pit bulls. ENCA's Ronald Masinda has the story.
The attack took place on this farm in Gunubi in East London. Nolene Fourie is the dog owner, and she says she is devastated by what took place.
We were sitting outside just enjoying the sun and everything, and she was busy feeding him a cake. And the dogs on the other side there started to bark. And the dog, I think, just went blind because he couldn't see them, but he could hear them. He grabbed the child and dragged the child to the gate over that side.
Okay, let's stop right there. Let's stop this right there. Welcome back, all of my fellow crusaders. Hope you're enjoying your holiday, your time off of work. Hope you're having a peaceful day. Hope you are in contact with your loved ones. Hope you're spreading positivity, keeping your neighbors safe. Keeping the children of your neighbors safe, not endangering them. And let's deal with some more nuttery. Okay? I'm going to take full advantage of this time off. Just to give people an idea of how much I would cover if I did this full time. Boy, you dog nutters, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. Nobody has been fully dedicated to this crusade yet. But our time is coming. Now let's rewind this a little bit. Because this lady said something very strange. How many of y'all caught that? Don't know how many of you caught that. Shout out to everybody in the room. ABQ, Mr. Payne, I see everybody. Ban all dogs. Strong presence here. Mr. Champagne Kittens, Clive, Handsome. Listen to this. Listen closely, people.
We were sitting outside just enjoying the sun and everything, and she was busy feeding him a cake.
Feeding the dog, feeding the baby cake. The child cake. Now let me stop right there. This is another reason why I reject this idea of viewing children as these mannish, misbehaving misfits, as terrors. I remember when I was a child, and I remember my fellow peers that were also children. And when we were children, we were fed pure sugar. We were loaded up with, what do they call it? Refined sugar, the worst, most poisonous, toxic substance probably that we eat, period. Do y'all know they fed sugar to some farm animals? They died immediately. Kids would not be as haywire if they were not drugged with the sugar starting from a very early age. Some of y'all remember during the Middle Ages, sugar was viewed as like cocaine in Europe, parts of Europe. I mean, it was a big time. People were addicted, just like they're addicted today. Okay, so I had to point that out. All this sugar y'all be feeding these kids and these babies makes them, it destroys their health, and it causes them to be hyperactive. We're not born into this world bad or sinful or nothing like that. Look at what the parents are doing.
Everything, and she was busy feeding him a cake, and the dogs on the other side there started to bark. And the dog, I think, just went blind because he couldn't see them, but he could hear them. He grabbed the child and...
Stop right there. Did y'all hear what she just said? Feeding the child cake And then
The dog, I think, just went blind
she said the dog, I think, just went blind.
because he couldn't see them, but he could hear them.
So, but the dog could not see the kids, but the dog could hear the kids.
He grabbed the child
And then grabbed the child,
and dragged it.
dragged the child. How on earth did she find this out? How did she discover this? Now I feel kind of bad beating up on an eyewitness. But look here, that doesn't make sense. Ma'am, can you elaborate on that? See, these journalists don't ask the right questions. I would have stopped her. You say it went blind, the dog went blind? Does that happen? Is that something that just happens to dogs? They just go blind? Spontaneously, huh? Okay. It just sounds strange, ma'am. Okay, now let's continue. The dog went blind. And while it was blind, knew where a child was and attacked the child. Okay.
He grabbed the child and dragged the child to the gate over that side. And
You know, this blind narrative, stuff like that is said to take the blame off the dog. Oh, it wasn't the dog's fault. It was blind and it heard all of these horrible sounds coming from the baby. So it found the child, I guess through sound, through hearing and listening, and then attacked. It wasn't the dog's fault. This has to go. This has to go. This is evil.
I ran there. I jumped on him. I stuck my fingers up his nose. And
Now, this is the story that I reported on the most recent live stream of the lady who stuck her finger up a dog's nose to neutralize an attack, to stop the attack. So, you know, a lot of these stories I cover, and then as they develop, I'll cover them again. This is one of those stories. Stuck her fingers up the dog's nose.
he let the child go. But he had already bitten.
Now, this is a disgusting thing to do. Now, if it'll let a child go just with your fingers, imagine how effective it would be if you used a big, maybe cotton swab or something soaked in ammonia. Okay, we have to have a list of things that we can rely on. It's unfortunate we can't actually test these things to see how efficient they would be.
Bitten the child in the neck.
Fourie says she did everything in her power to prevent the dog.
Let me say, over there in South Africa, y'all need to get a backbone and stop letting these pit nutters have influence in your society. See, these pit nutter lobbies, they're paying a lot of these journalists and media outlets to put out pro pit bull propaganda. Y'all got to cut that out. Nobody's calling that out.
Dog from attacking the 15-month-old toddler, but it was too late. She also has confirmed to ENCA that the dog has attacked previously.
Never been aggressive here by me, but he's already killed 2 dogs on the farm which came onto my premises.
Okay, this dog has already killed 2 other dogs, and this person was still in possession of it.
Hein Leroux has been breeding pit bulls for years now. He says that more responsibility should be taken by the owners.
Now, this is a breeder. He's been breeding pit bulls for years. This is epic nuttery. This is what encouraged the title of this stream. Let me rewind that a little bit. Okay, this is a breeder.
Bulls for years now. He says that more responsibility should be taken by the owners.
That's my child. Are they going to put their own children down when they're naughty or when they misbehave?
There you go. That's the expert breeder who has been breeding for years. You heard what he said? Again, these so-called behaviorists, they should not be obsessed with dogs. Veterinarians should not be obsessed with dogs. You should not have a bias towards dogs, calling yourself some type of professional. No, you're not. You're just an advocate for pit bulls. Now, this man sat there and said that the dog is his child. No, it's not. That's either true or it's not, people. All you pit nutters, shut up. These things are not your children. That's a fact that can be proven. But he goes on to lie and say that this dog is his child. And then what did he say?
That's my child. Are they going to put their own children down when they're naughty or when they misbehave?
And then compare a pit bull to a child. And said, are you going to put your children down when they're naughty or misbehave? This is what I'm talking about, people. This is epic nuttery. We all know their talking points. But the new people to this movement, they may not have examined this rhetoric closely. The dog is not his child. And then he said, are you going to put your child down when your child misbehaves or is naughty? He's comparing a lethal creature to a harmless child. See, that's the difference. When the dog so-called misbehaves, you, even a grown man, could end up dead. You're going to lose blood. The dog is going to draw blood from you. You'll be lucky to survive the attack. Most likely you're going to need help. What do you think is going to happen when a 2-year-old tries to attack you? Tries to attack your neighbors? How dare these people compare pit bulls to children? The nerve of these people. I mean, they have some serious gall about them and expect to not be called out for this. Now, this is a South African right here as well. Pushing this nuttery. I believe these types of people over there in South Africa right now are in danger and they need to shut their stupid mouths. Shut your stupid pit nutter mouth. Get that nonsense out of that country. I'm telling you, there are some hardcore people over there in South Africa who will wake you up 3 o'clock in the morning. Because this is epic nuttery. This person is a serious threat and danger to the whole society. All these types of people.
That's my child. Are they going to put their own children down when they're naughty or when they misbehave?
See, they want to categorize a lethal attack, a deadly attack, as naughty behavior. Oh, it's just being naughty. I mean, is this real? The brain deadness, is it this extreme? Yes, it is.
No. I won't do that. I'll reprimand him. He knows when he's done wrong. Absolutely. I mean, he's excited. He's strong. It's a very strong dog. If they do bite, they do more damage because it's a power breed.
He said if they do bite, they do more damage because it's a power breed. Well, don't you think that's relevant? Don't you think that's significant? That's noteworthy. That helps us in our argument that they should be banned. He just admitted that they cause more damage when they attack. And stop calling them a power breed. These things were bred to fight to the death. They were bred for fighting. It's what they were bred for. It's in their DNA. Call them a power breed. They have a unique way of attacking that's far more deadly. Far more deadly. Stop it. So that to me is epic nuttery. You don't get on live TV and say some nonsense like that.
The SPCA in East London has confirmed that the dog will be put down.
If people are more responsible.
People, pay close attention to this right here. This is a member of the SPCA over there in South Africa. Pay close attention to this man.
If people are more responsible, we would not have to face this.
Wait a minute. I gotta go full screen on this. I'm sorry. One more time.
Will be put down.
If people are more responsible, we would not have to face this. The parents wouldn't have to face this. We pleaded the communities to the people to look after their animals, to train them to look.
Did y'all see that? Did y'all hear that? This man is partially crying. He's crying a little bit right now. Member of the SPCA, you got on camera to talk about these dog attacks and you start crying? How unstable, how much more unstable could an organization get? Isn't this telling? Doesn't this tell you that he is employed by an organization that's extremely flawed? You can tell this man knows he's doing something that's against the community. This is very antisocial. You get up here and start crying. Now, what did he say? Listen to what he said here. Talking crazy. You can tell he's confused and he's not that educated about pit bulls in general, about dogs in general.
Will be put down.
If people are more responsible, we would not have to face this. The parents wouldn't have to face this. We pleaded the communities to the people to look after their animals, to train them to look.
Then he just lost his train of thought. He didn't know what else to say. Lip quivering, voice cracking. This man is totally distraught. I'm not trying to make fun of him. I'm pointing out this man is emotionally disturbed right now. A worker for the SPCA. These people are troubled by their own behavior, their own actions. This is not a man proud of the fact that he fights to keep these things in society. He seems like he had a moment of clarity. But don't try to put it on the citizens as if it's their failure to properly train the dog that's the cause of the problem. You cannot train a dog in any way that's going to make it guaranteed harmless. It's impossible to guarantee that a dog will never attack a human being. You can reduce the chances that it'll attack you, the owner. That's possible. Notice I said reduce the chances that it'll attack you. Smack the stupid mutt around a little bit. Use your little goofy training, positive reinforcement, whatever you decide to use. Yeah, you can do that. But there is absolutely nothing that you can do to guarantee that that dog won't attack someone else. Nothing. And the only difference between that way of training dogs with the alpha approach and the positive reward approach is that the people who only use positive reinforcement, they don't reduce the chances that the dog will attack them. There's a greater chance that that dog will attack them, the owner. But it's just as likely to attack other people as the dogs are that were raised by these so-called alphas. This is exactly why dog attacks on people, the owners, vary. Sometimes it's a woman, a female owner, a soft type of person. Other times it's a fit, healthy young man. Impossible to train a dog to be harmless, especially a pit bull. What are you talking about? They were bred. It's in their genes. You can't train genetics out of them. Stop it. You can't, no matter how hard you try, a greyhound is still going to be able to run fast. You can't train their ability to run out of them. Same goes for all these other mutts. No matter how hard you try, you can't train what they were bred for out of them. My apologies, I've been babbling for a while. Let's finish this. This is troubling.
We are more responsible. We would not have to face this.
The responsible citizen, I have to point this out, I have to say this, the responsible citizen is the one who is not in possession of these things, of a pit bull. You're in possession of them, you're irresponsible. You're an irresponsible neighbor, a dangerous neighbor. You're endangering the whole society, period. I don't want to hear nothing about how your special magical training. If you own them, you're irresponsible.
We wouldn't have to face this. We pleaded the communities to the people to look after their animals, to train them to...
Again, don't assume that every dog that attacks wasn't properly looked out for by the... Quite often, it's because it's so well looked after by its owners. That's why it attacks, because it's super healthy. It's feeling good. It's well fed, full of energy, had plenty of water. Now it's in a perfect condition to attack people. Stop with this. As if they conduct some type of health test on dogs that attack and find out it was malnourished. Oh, it's low in vitamin D. See, the longer you focus on these people, the easier it becomes to call out their nonsense. Listen, I want these people to snap out of it. I don't wish harm on these people. I don't wish harm on these people whatsoever. I want them to snap out of this. This is mad. And listen, it's not arrogant on my part or our part to point out dysfunction that's carried out by a large portion of the population. You go back in time, you look throughout history, there's always been eras where a large portion of the population was engaged in sickening, nonsensical, insane behavior. We've already proven that we will do stupid, inhumane things in large numbers. And what made it possible was that everybody kept their mouth shut about it. Not here. Not here. Nowhere else is this culture more under a microscope than the anti-dog community on the internet.
The SPCA has also echoed some of the sentiments made by dog owners, that the onus should be on them to ensure that such attacks can be prevented.
You know how? The only way to do that is to not be an owner. Stop playing dumb, dog nutters, pit nutters. Stop playing dumb. No matter what you say, I'm going to come back with the same thing. And it's going to trump it. The only way to ensure that your neighbors are safe is to not be in possession of one of these things. This is epic nuttery right here. Just in case, and I believe this video was uploaded recently, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 21 hours ago. This was uploaded 21 hours ago. I always try to use recent news. Okay, where are we at? I want to share a link to this. There we go. There we go. Crazy stuff, huh? Now, let me digress for a second. I recently tried this new way of reducing stress and anxiety. Okay, because when I go live, I like to stay relatively calm. I like to stay calm. So before I go live, I'll take some type of herb to help me relax and stay relaxed. It's usually valerian root. But here recently, I tried this stuff called GABA. Maybe some of you have tried it. Here's what it looks like in the store. And I got the gummies. It is goodbye stress. 50 milligrams of GABA. Now, this is proven to help reduce stress and anxiety. So if you really want to help people to reduce stress and anxiety, why don't you simply bring them a gummy? And let me tell you, this stuff works very well. Look at it. It's known for producing a calming effect. And guess what? These gummies are harmless. And they don't come with a bunch of viruses, bacteria, parasites, stinking breath, stench, period, nasty dog hair, traces of excrement, saliva, and urine all in the air. Don't come with none of that. They say it's thought to play a major role in controlling nerve cell hyperactivity associated with anxiety, stress, and fear. Scientists also call GABA a non-protein amino acid neurotransmitter. And again, this stuff works. It's very powerful. So these people have no excuse. Talking about bringing dogs into schools and all this crazy that is epic nuttery. You want to teach toddlers and kids, bringing them into schools, teaching them to rub on these things, trying to make them numb to the danger. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should all be ashamed of yourselves. Now, what is this? This surfaced yesterday. Dog tased. 2 people taken to the hospital after Thanksgiving Day skirmish. So these people were arguing. Okay, they were arguing with someone else. 4 people were bitten. Wait a minute. Taser involving its owners on Thanksgiving Day. It unfolded around 7 p.m. The dog's owners were arguing with another group when the situation escalated. The dog attacked. 4 people were bitten. 2 of them had to go to the hospital. There's your ER visits. Dog was tased after it refused to let go of a woman's leg. What type of dog do you think that was? Based on the report, cops were called. Cops got there. The dog was still latched onto the woman's leg. That is a form of aggression. That's unique aggression. Hey, the dog is still latched onto the woman. Hasn't let go yet. That's breed-specific aggression. Sheriff said the dog was not hurt. And they said it will stay in animal control custody over the weekend to make sure it has no diseases. Look at this. The department added that no one is facing charges at this time, and that it appears the dog was only protecting its owners. Nobody was attacking its owners. Did I miss the part where someone was attacked? It's unacceptable for people to be stabbed simply because they had an argument, a disagreement. It's unacceptable for a person to be stabbed repeatedly simply because they walked by your front yard. This idea that it's acceptable for dogs to attack people, lethal attacks, claiming that it was just protecting its owner when its owner is never in danger, never under attack, never being threatened. That's why these things are ineffective as protection. They always attack people who are not attacking the owner. Don't try to throw that out there. This is the same thing as mail carriers being attacked. Their intent is not to physically harm people they're bringing the mail to. Is the dog only protecting its owners then when it's attacking a mailman, somebody who come by every day? These goofy mutants are not efficient to be used for protection. A gun is far more reliable and safe. You are in complete control of that gun. These people are crazy, man. And there's the link to that story. Oh, it does not stop, man. Oh, shout out to everybody who left comments on these most recent live streams, man. It really helped to make the presentation complete. You know, we've cranked up our intensity in response to this nutter culture cranking up its intensity. This surfaced just a few hours ago. Oh boy. Oh boy. Really? Y'all still trying to get rid of these things? Okay, let's listen. Let's listen.
Family. If you're looking to expand your family with a new furry friend, Act Philly has you covered. The shelter is full and has...
Now, I always think it's funny with these videos. They're trying to talk people into adopting one of these things. And then they'll show the dogs, and the dogs will be threatening the cameraman. All these barking mutts. They're trying to be dominant. It's dominant. Dog barking is primarily done because the dog's trying to establish some type of dominance.
If you're looking to expand your family with a new furry friend,
that's why they wag their tail vigorously as they bark, trying to spread their scent. These things are all about conflict, dominating, fight, kill, attack, worthless mutants. Good for nothing. No, why would anybody want to cuddle with these things? You idiot.
Expand your family with a new furry friend. Act Philly has you covered. The shelter is...
And all this fur nonsense. These things have the least amount of fur of all animals for the most part. Their fur almost look like skin. Always going on and on about the fur in these. Shut up, man. Goofy nonsense. Always trying to babyfy these things. They say anything to project them as, oh, is this an innocent, harmless bunny rabbit, a furry baby? Shut up.
The shelter is full and has more than 100 dogs. Today, the shelter is waiving all adoption fees. If you do, though, need to fill out an application online before heading to the hunting park location, we have that link at 6abc.com.
Yeah. Bring one of these home. Go ahead. Increase the chances your child get his or her face ripped off, throat ripped out. Go ahead and aid and abet. Assist these things to carry out a crime. What a criminal culture, man.
/links.
Shut up. Let's get out of here. Every time you look around, these shelters are waiving adoption fees. They're always bending over backwards to get rid of these mutants. And it's primarily pit bulls. Always focus on what's so exclusive to dogs. And it tells you that they're dysfunctional, abnormal. Y'all notice how it's always dogs that are killed off by these mysterious outbreaks of bacteria and crazy weird viruses like this one. This surfaced a few hours ago. The mysterious dog-killing bacteria plaguing a popular national park. This is like exclusive to dogs, just like a bunch of other things. And they always try to claim, oh, it's all animals. All animals. That is mutt's always dropping dead because it eats something natural. You know how many things in nature is deadly to dogs? What's that tell you? That the dogs didn't come from nature. How many more signs do we need that these things are not natural? Where the earth itself tries to kill dogs off. Think about it. All the earth's natural animals hate dogs and tries to exterminate them. The planet itself offers many different types of natural things that will kill off a worthless mutt. It's like an immune system for the planet to produce these bacteria that's deadly but specific for mutants. It only hurts you if you're not natural to this earth. Worthless mutants. Okay, so yeah, this bacteria just popping up, and this happens all the time. National Park was forced to warn visitors against the narrows due to a toxic bacteria spreading through the parkway. Toxic only for dogs. Only for dogs. All other animals are just fine. Here you go again. Now, this is another example of what I'm talking about going over there in South Africa. Y'all got to cut this out. Letting these pit nutters over there have large platforms spewing this nonsense. Pit bulls and their owners need to be educated, says Durban dog expert. Who is this? She writes a lot of articles. Stop writing these stupid articles. See, she's being paid by the people at the top. Put out this nonsense. And it's the same stupid rhetoric. Talking about, oh, you just need to be educated. No amount of education is going to make a community safe. If these things are in the community is in danger. Period. Want to hear nothing about no teaching, no stupid mutt. What in the world? Okay. He made some stupid statements that I want to deal with real quick. He said, with all dogs and all breeds, the owner of the dog needs to understand the breed of the dog and the dog's makeup. This article surfaced a few hours ago. 4 hours ago. The owner needs to understand the breed of the dog and the dog's makeup. They must understand why the dog is bred, where its DNA is from, and the purpose of the dog. Shut up. Let's say you know all that. You are no better equipped to stop an attack. At the end of the day, it's all about you being unable to neutralize this thing physically. Stop with this nonsense. He explained that people could not simply get a dog and expect the dog to do what they want it to do. Dogs need to be trained, he said. This is a quote. Dogs need to be trained. The owner needs to be trained. So the owner needs to be trained in order to train the dog to not attack people. All this has to be done to try to train the dog to not rip people's face off. Well, it sounds like that's a creature that just simply doesn't have any business in society. Stop with this training nonsense. You goofy trainers. You know I'm telling the truth. Talk about the family needs to be trained to make sure the dog is the right dog for the family. So you got to train the family to make sure the dog is the right dog for the family. What are you even talking about? That don't even make no sense. So this owner or trainer He said that he's seen positive outcomes where power breeds are trained and the owner educated. No, what you saw was a few minutes where a person's pit bull was not attacking them or anyone else. That's all you saw. Some of these same people you're talking about, their pit bulls could have attacked someone by now. Stop it. You being around a pit bull and its owner for a few minutes and it not attacking anyone, that's not proof. It's not evidence of nothing. The only thing that serves as proof and evidence is the statistics that these mutants produce. That's irrefutable. It's irrefutable. Everything else is just nonsense. He said that power breeds, which are considered to be pit bulls, Rottweilers, Dobermans, need to be trained. Why? They're like, pit bulls are just like all other dogs, according to you. You see how they try to play both sides of the fence? Don't discriminate based on breed. All dogs are the same. Okay, so why do these dogs need to be trained? Why do you need to train the family that owns them so that they can train the dog? Why do they need all this extra special training if there's no difference between these dogs and other breeds? It's because y'all know these things are dangerous. Specifically, pit bull, all bully breeds, that's what they were bred for. And that's why y'all keep saying that they need to be trained. You got to train them. Special training. You have to be stern. This is nonsense. No more of this Twilight Zone nonsense. He said, I believe in educating dogs. And this is a journey that has to be undertaken for the life of the dog. So you got to train the dog for its entire life. Think about that. Isn't that an admission that training doesn't work? That does not work, people. I was trained. We're all trained to do a specific job. Your employer hires you, you go through training. After training, you start to do what you were trained to do. You don't have to go through training again. So after a dog is trained, why doesn't it simply become harmless? This is an admission that training is worthless. This is what I've been saying for the longest. Training is worthless. And this man saying that the dogs need to be trained for the entire duration of its worthless life bears witness to that. Wow, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. What else he say? Our animal control unit statistics show a clear increase in the number of dogs impounded. This is a bunch of babble. I want to hear that nonsense. Y'all gotta silence these nutters over there in South Africa putting out this nonsense. Trying to say, oh, it's the people's fault. They're trying to enforce the same nonsense nuttery they do over here. No matter how many people, toddlers, kids get attacked, their go-to is to blame the owner. Oh, you did something. You failed to do something. You failed the dog. You failed. You failed. You're supposed to train. You can do that a million times a day. And they're going to say the same thing. You did something. You forgot to do something. Shut up, man. Stop it. We're far past the point where we realize that the dogs themselves are the problem. So this is good news. South Africa, SPCA can't handle all the surrendered pit bulls. There you go. See, this is why so many of those pro pit bull people in South Africa putting out all these goofy articles right now because of the mayhem. The grassroots, the people are turning against these things. So they have to try to turn up the propaganda, and it's not working. So they can't even handle them. Everybody getting rid of their pit bull. Good. Good. Just in case anybody, and I think this is an older article, if I'm not mistaken. I think this was published a little while ago. Oh, November 25th. No, it's actually surfaced a few hours ago. I'll go ahead and share a link to that. Man, oh man. Beautiful stuff. Look, it feels good to hear what the people are doing over there in South Africa and to see the pro pit bull people squirming, panicking. They're panic publish these goofy pro nutter articles. Is hilarious. Now, this surfaced a few hours ago as well. Poison found around a forest cemetery. Huh? Poison? They said be cautious. Poisonous traps hidden in the area. An unidentified person placed the poison in various places in the area. Dog owners are therefore asked to be very vigilant and should not let dogs run free. These traps attract animals by smell and make them very ill or can even prove lethal if ingested. So this is not new. These vigilantes, these people who have, who snap, they can't take it no more. Whoever did this, if they laid this poison out for dogs, I have to wonder if this person was traumatized. Was his son or daughter mutilated? The dog allowed to live? Did something like that happen? Nothing happened to the dog or the owner? They have a mutilated child or they've lost a child. Then they come home traumatized, come home from the hospital, only to sit down, turn on the TV, and see these pro pit bull advertisements, commercials, movies. Come home only to see the same creatures that exclusively rip people to shreds. Come home to see them being exalted like deities. You think maybe this drives some people crazy? Because you're working against our own best interest. That's just the truth of the matter. What is this? Luxembourg. Where is that at? Here, let me share a link to this. Sound like somewhere in what was that, South Africa? Luxembourg? Bear with me here. I wanna check that out. Right. Oh boy, I'm loving it. Didn't I tell y'all that the pit bull lovers were going crazy? Oh, that they're losing their mind, panicking. Oh, what can we do? Oh, we need more articles. Let's talk to an expert. Oh, this is in Germany. This is in Germany. Now, I think Germany is a pro-dog country. Isn't that right? Let me see. Dogs. Yeah, I think that's a pro-dog country. Dogs, yeah. dogs. Yes, Germany is a very dog-friendly country. There you go. But even in a dog-friendly country, just like here in the States, you got riders. You got crusaders who fed up. You got people who get hit with reality. For a moment, they see reality and they lose their whole mind. Realize how much they've been lied to and deceived, and they realize dogs are not man's best friend. They're our worst enemy. And some people resort to doing things like this. Xylitol and other things that they know is lethal to dogs, they'll go do this type of stuff. I'm saying don't just point your finger, wag your finger at the people who do stuff like this. We got to examine what the laws are doing, what society is doing to drive people mad like this. No, I'm sick of this idea. They're trying to blame people's genes or whatever. Just a bunch of evil people. Stop it. Another article. Shout out to America Strong on Twitter. He sends me a lot of good stuff. Call for pit bulls to be given to police dog units and not allowed in communities or homes. This is why they're putting out all that nonsense. This is South Africa. I think this surfaced last month, October 24th. I missed it. All pit bulls in the country are to be taken by police and given to dog units to be used for patrolling. Or they did cover this a little bit, but I didn't hear it worded like that. That is exactly what needs to be said. They shouldn't be allowed in communities or homes. So I've been saying, it's a breed that has turned against its owners and attacked people walking down the street. This dog has a killer instinct and is an animal that is unpredictable. It has killed mostly the vulnerable. Now, this is a quote from the man who started that petition that got, I think, well over 50,000 signatures. Right? This is irrefutable fact. That's why pit bull advocates sound so ridiculous. They can't use facts. They can't use evidence. So all they have to rely on is shaming, these guilt tactics, and a bunch of other nonsense tactics. This guy is at the front line of a battle over lineage of pit bulls in South Africa that have launched petitions for the castration and sterilization of the vicious dog breed. Got a bunch of signatures. Look what else he said. He said, we want them banned with immediate effect. And the government has to take time to ensure the dog is removed from society. Right? Government's supposed to work in the interest of the people. Okay? The government has to take time to ensure these dogs are removed from society because it has killed a number of people and it continues to kill. We are prompted by the Constitution, which guarantees everyone the right to life. So what do you think about that? I can agree with that. What are we paying taxes for? To live in a dangerous society? Say we cannot continue counting bodies because of a breed that is not supposed to be a domestic animal. And that is why we want it declassified and for police to take steps. A breed that was not supposed to be a domestic animal. All right? That's the pit bull. It was bred for fighting, killing. It was crossed. It's so mutated and inbred that its brain is absolutely worthless, highly dysfunctional, the exact opposite of human beings' brains. These are killing machines, bred to be killing machines. Don't tell me that a kiss, you can just kiss these things and suddenly they'll be harmless. Oh, just raise it with love. That is so offensive. He said, although they understood the frustration of pit bull owners, the organization was fighting in the interest of human life, especially children. Again, this was said by the guy who started that petition, that big time petition. I think it's got like over 70,000 signatures at this point, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Fighting in the interest of human life, especially children. He added that South Africa would not be the only country taking this route. To date, countries such as Finland, Denmark, the UK, Portugal, Singapore, Netherlands, Poland, France, Germany, and Puerto Rico, to name a few, have banned and put restrictions on the ownership of the breed or its importation. Let me say, a lot of these, if not all of them, these are like fake bans where they only ban certain bully breeds. That's why we keep hearing about attacks by bully breeds come out of these countries. They just create a loophole. They ban certain bully breeds to make themselves look like they have high morals, but continue to pander to pit bull lovers by saying, you can own one of these other bully breeds, though. The reasons for the partial bans in these countries vary from how the dog behaves. Now, there are many countries that have banned pit bulls, many districts. Why do you think that is? If they were no different from other dogs, that's a real simple question. Why are they banned? Oh, because they're misunderstood. I'm telling you, let me show y'all something. Wait a minute, look at this. Again, this was the creator of that petition. We as pit bull owners and lovers of this great breed. Look at this. A counter petition. Y'all remember I talked about this. A counter petition against the foundation started by Theo Kruger has gained its fair share of support. Got over 2,900 signatures. He said, quote, we as pit bull owners and lovers of this great breed are tired of these so-called experts who have no idea about pit bull breeds and then want to ban them. Like this guy's foundation. He's talking about the guy who made that petition. Now look at this. Let me show y'all something right now. Let me show y'all that petition that I just read. Okay, let me see. Wait a minute. Like I gotta change my screen here. Because this guy, I believe, is some type of plant. This is a petition against this man. Look at how it's worded. Petition against. What is this? Sizwe Kopelo? Petition against his foundation and ban on pit bulls in South Africa. And here's the guy right here. This pit bull plant, pit bull nutter plant, Theo Kruger. And look at what he wrote. This is all he wrote. We as pit bull owners and lovers of this great breed are tired of these so-called experts who has no idea. Look at how he writes. First of all, we as pit bull owners and lovers of this great breed, then he puts a period. That's not the end of a sentence. We as pit bull owners and lovers of this great breed are tired. There should be no period here. Are tired of these so-called experts who has no idea about pit bull breeds, then want to ban them. Who are these experts you're talking about that have no idea about pit bull breeds? You show facts, statistics, doctor reports, and the only thing they come back with is that people simply don't understand the pit bulls. Oh, you just don't understand them. We're the confused ones. We look at the stats, the statements by the doctors, and draw a very easy conclusion. And their response is, oh, you just don't understand them. At night, my dog gazes into my eyes lovingly. And there's an increase in oxytocin. See, I understand because I have those types of moments with pit bulls. That's all they're saying. Just the goofiest logic possible that you can imagine. That is all they're resting their hats on. And it is beyond pathetic. It is beyond pathetic. These stories are rolling in faster than I can keep up with. The Nuttery is starting to soar right now. I thought it would have sort of toned down a bit because it's getting kind of cold. That's not the case. Crazy, man. Yeah. Somebody said shelters often lose paper complaints. Yeah, I bet. And I bet some of the complaints are deliberately concealed, thrown away. You know? No. Yeah, there's nothing positive about pit bulls at all. Nothing whatsoever. It's hard to believe that pit bulls, I can understand dogs in general, but the bully breed is so inappropriate to be in society as a so-called pet. It's mind-blowing that they're legal, even in the places that they are. Crazy statistics, man. Yeah. That oxytocin narrative, when that first came out, I'm telling you, that's all I read about. This went on for a few weeks, where all of the media outlets were talking about oxytocin. Oh, we found scientific proof that your dog really does love you. And all of that turned out to be a scam. Everything positive about dogs, you find out it's all a scam. Every time they try to project a dog as being a hero saving kids, it's a scam. They have manipulated, distorted the truth, and basically putting out a lie. Or they're not telling you the whole story, which is the same thing as a lie. The therapy dog industry, scam. Everything positive about dogs is either a scam or it's just stupid to use dogs when you have several safe alternatives, healthier alternatives. The number of ways that people can reduce stress and anxiety today is greater than it has ever been in recorded history. We found so many herbs and natural remedies that are very effective at reducing stress and anxiety. For them to rest, the reduction of stress and anxiety, to rest on that, to depend on that, and say that that's the reason why they're bringing dogs into different schools and hospitals everywhere, that is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That needs to stop fast. These nutters have gotten far out of hand. Right? It's my pleasure. That king man. Yeah, I can't not imagine how horrible it would be to grow up in a house with pit bulls. Can you imagine being a 5-year-old child in the house with a pit bull, 2 pit bulls? Trying to tell me that's not endangerment? I was listening to this. Look at this. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something right now. Give y'all a better idea. But you all know. But just for the sake of this video, let's re-examine the epic Nuttery. This is the petition to counter the ban. Look at these pro-nutter comments. The poor dogs is not the problem. It's the humans that own them. Not just pit bulls can attack when feeling threatened, but any animal. Ban and fine the idiots that tease the animals and do harm to them. Poor babies don't have a voice like people do when they get bullied. There is always a reason why they attack. There's your typical pit nutter. Wow. Unbelievable. This is an all-time high of stupidity. Wow. I'm tired of ignorant, uneducated people blaming the breed for wrongdoing. Notice how everybody else is ignorant and uneducated. The people who actually refer to the statistics and the doctor reports, they're calling us uneducated and ignorant. But yet they don't source anything at all to support their arguments. They just name call. You're ignorant. You're uneducated. Blame the owners and the backyard breeders for carelessness. So, as always, they assume that all of the pit bulls in South Africa that have attacked someone were raised by backyard breeders who were careless. That doesn't work. That's an illogical argument because you can't prove how those mutants were raised. You can't prove it. Look, I think pit bulls are the most misunderstood breed and worth giving a chance because they are loyal and loving and very emotional. You sit back and look at the statistics that these things create. And these nutters sit up there and say, well, no, it's worth giving them a chance because they're loyal, loving, and very emotional. Very emotional? No, they're not. That's just a lie. This is scary. And these are the contributors. These are the people who signed the petition. These are the pit bull lovers of South Africa. Said, we just need stricter laws when it comes to dog fighting. And people need to be educated on the breed so that they raise them properly. Wow. Can't make this up. I disagree with the fact that they want to ban a whole species for no good reasoning. And pit bulls are great dogs. Yeah, They want to ban the breed that was bred to attack and kill. They're saying that that doesn't make sense. That's the pit bull logic. Oh, you want to ban the 6% of dogs that commit 65% of hospitalizations? Oh, that doesn't make sense. I don't understand. Oh, you never will. And if you're this dumb at this point, you'll never understand. Look at this. There is no bad dog breed, just bad owners. Look at this. There is no bad dog breed, just bad owners letting kids jump on dogs and not supervising kids around dogs. Then, after 10 hours of the dog just taking it and no one advocating for them, they bite. So this person sat up here and said that the kids who are attacked by pit bulls are kids who are jumping on the dogs and harassing, attacking the dogs for 10 hours, multiple hours. Cannot cite not one story to substantiate that claim. If you're going to make such a ridiculous statement like this, you better include no less than 10 links. No less than 10 links to stories that prove what you said. And that's the difference between me and these nutters. That's the difference between us and them. We got more than enough proof, examples, stories to back up what we say. They have none. None whatsoever. I never seen no child jumping on no dog. Where you seen that at? Nutter. Goofball nutter. And why are you teaching? See, you got to get done with these people. A creature shouldn't be there in the first place. You the adult, why are you teaching your child to view the dog as a toy in the first place? These people, this is childish. I told you they have the mind of a child. This is childish mentality right here. Pit bulls are better than humans. People kill more people than pit bulls kill people. Can't make this up. Every dog has life. People who do, okay, I'm tired of this level of nuttery. There you go. They're your supporters of bully breeds in South Africa. So this thing now has over 5,000, almost 6,000 signatures. Now, I assume that most of them are in South Africa because the ban is for South Africa. Yeah, it's in South Africa. Now, this might seem like a lot. He created this 4 weeks ago. But remember, in like a few days, the petition to ban pit bulls had gotten over 50,000 signatures. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see if I can pull this up. Y'all bear with me real quick. I want to see how many signatures that that petition has right now. Okay, here we go right here. Okay, no, that's different. What is this? South Africa. Okay, what is this? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, my. Okay, let me share this. That's what's up. That's what's up. Y'all see that? This is his petition. And right now, it has almost 130,000 signatures. So compare that to 5,800. He's not getting virtually no support. Good. I'm going to celebrate the failure of these pit bull lovers. Wherever it happens, I'm going to pull out the pom-poms and cheerlead for the Crusaders. How you like that? 129,000 signatures. It's a wrap. Shout out to the people of South Africa who have waged war against this menace to society. That menace being the dogs and the owners of the dogs. Don't ever let these people try to make you feel guilty for standing up for what's right, for speaking in defense of the helpless, standing up against people being harmed. That's all we're doing. While the pro-pit bull people are fighting for the right to harm everybody in society. Right? It feels good to be a crusader. Shout out to everybody who's able to join me for this live stream. What's today? Friday? Yeah, it's Friday. Boy, this weekend is off to a good start, man. Because it's going slow already. It almost feels like Saturday. A lot of work to do. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'd love to visit South Africa right now. Oh, yeah. So that is all for Epic Nuttery. I was about to make another random dog nuttery series, but I wanted to highlight this. That is very epic to have an employee of the SPCA break down and cry in complete confusion. What a failure. What a failure of an organization. This whole pit bull movement is coming to an end. We're in the last days. And I cannot wait. And I hope to see you all back here on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.